All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to get into one of the most important skills for any gardener, and that's mastering the air inside your greenhouse. We're going to figure out how to turn it from a place that could be a problem into the perfect, healthy home for your plants to just take off.
So let's just jump right in. Every single person with a greenhouse runs into this problem. You need to trap all that wonderful heat, right? But you can't trap stale, damp air along with it because that's just an open invitation for disease. It's this tricky balancing act, and today we're going to learn exactly how to pull it off.
And here's the paradox, right? A warm, steamy greenhouse feels like the perfect spa day for your plants, but it's also the perfect breeding ground for molds and fungi that can completely destroy your harvest. So the real secret isn't just about warmth, it's about getting fresh air moving through there. Okay, let's start with a really simple way to think about this for the whole year. We're just going to focus on a basic, unheated greenhouse. The kind most of us have. And you'll see each season has its own little dance. Now check this out because it really simplifies everything. In the winter, you're just giving it a quick burp of fresh air on the sunniest part of the day to let that moisture out. In spring, you open it up during the day and then button it up tight at night, kind of like charging a thermal battery. Summer, it's just a free-for-all. Open everything you can. And then autumn is just a gentler spring, really. You're just trying to dry out that condensation before you trap the day's warmth. But of course, a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't really work, does it? Different plants have totally different needs. And learning to adjust the airflow for what you're actually growing, well, that's when you really start to level up your greenhouse game. Let's look at a couple of the most common ones. And this is where it gets really interesting. For tomatoes and peppers, you need that air moving around, not just to keep the leaves dry, but to actually help pollinate the flowers. If the air is too damp, the pollen literally gets sticky and clumpy and it just won't work. Now, cucumbers, they love the humidity, but if that humid air just sits there, they are sitting ducks for that white, dusty, powdery mildew. So here's the bottom line. Stale, humid air is basically like rolling out the red carpet for all of these diseases to just move right in. Seriously, think of fresh air as your first and your best line of defense. It's preventative medicine, and it's free. Okay, now let's talk about the most vulnerable residents in the whole greenhouse. The seedlings. They need that high humidity to get started, to germinate. But here's the catch. That same humidity can kill them once they're up, so you have to be really gentle and gradual with them. This whole process is called hardening off, and you just can't skip it. You're basically getting the seedlings used to the real world, little by little. And that bit of airflow does more than just stop disease. It's like a workout for their tiny stems. It makes them stronger, tougher, and way more prepared for the shock of being planted outside. And the best part of all of this? You don't need to spend a ton of money on fancy automated systems to get it right. Let's go over some really simple, really powerful, and cheap ways to get a handle on your greenhouse climate. This is huge. When and how you water is one of your main tools for controlling humidity. See, if you water in the evening, all that moisture hangs around in the cool night air and settles on the leaves, a recipe for disaster. But if you water in the morning, the sun and the airflow have all day to dry everything out. And your method makes a massive difference too. A sprinkler might seem fast, but it's like setting off a fog machine in there. It soaks everything and the humidity just skyrockets. Drip irrigation, though, that's surgical. It puts the water right where it's needed, the roots, and keeps the air so much drier. This is just high school physics, but it is pure magic in a greenhouse. You're letting nature do all the heavy lifting. By having a low vent and a high vent, you create a natural chimney. The cool, dry air gets pulled in at the bottom, it warms up, picks up moisture, rises, and then flows right out the top. It's a silent, constant air conditioner. But what about those days you're not home, right? The sun suddenly pops out from behind the clouds, and within an hour, your greenhouse can turn into an oven. Well, luckily, there's a brilliantly simple solution for that, and it doesn't even need to be plugged in. Seriously, these things are genius. They're completely passive. It's just a little cylinder filled with a special wax. When it gets hot, the wax expands and pushes a piston that opens your vent. When it cools down, the wax shrinks and the vent closes. It's like having a tiny little robot bodyguard for your plants, making sure they never overheat. Now, when you get into the real heat of summer, sometimes just opening everything up isn't quite going to cut it. You also have to stop some of that intense sun from getting in the first place. A simple shade net, or even a temporary coat of whitewash, can drop the temperature inside by a surprising amount. And for those tunnel-style greenhouses, rolling at the sides is the absolute best way to get a nice, cooling breeze blowing through. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. Because all these little tricks are about one thing and one thing only: protecting your plants so that you actually get to eat the delicious food you've been working so hard to grow. And let's talk about one of the most heartbreaking problems: damping off. If you've ever grown seedlings, you might have seen this. It's a fungal disease that attacks right at the soil line, and it's almost always caused by not enough air and too much water. You gotta know how to spot it early. This right here, this is your emergency action plan. If you see a seedling stem that looks all thin and pinched at the bottom, or if a plant that looked fine yesterday has just collapsed, that's your alarm bell. The very first thing you do, every single time, is get more air moving, cut back on the water, and, this is key, get any sick-looking plants out of there so they don't infect their neighbors. If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this: fresh air is your secret weapon. It's not some fancy spray or expensive fertilizer, it's just good old-fashioned moving air. It creates a world where all those nasty diseases just can't get started. So, think about it. What's one little thing you can do differently tomorrow? Will you start watering in the morning? Or maybe just prop the door open for an extra hour? Every little tweak you make helps build a healthier home for your plants. Thanks so much for tuning in.